This is a wishing well that my dad put together, and it has pine cone scales on the roof and real rock on this bottom part. He made a bucket. It's got a crank that works and a rope to pull the bucket up out of the well, and I'll turn it over to Dad.
Started out with this piece of wood on the bottom. It just happened to be two pieces, and the structure underneath the rock is a plastic container similar to something like this, only it's round, but it isn't anything elaborate.
It's not tapered. It's
not tapered, it's straight
sides.
And then I just cut it off. I put all my rock work on.
How did you do that?
With caulking.
Gray caulking.
Gray caulk. It's just.
That's
and
fine.
then you put all the rock on. You just kind of work it out so you got a white one and a red one and a gray one and a black one, and you mix them up so that they look,
But what's the process of putting the rocks on? You put on caulk in an area about this big, start at the bottom.
Yeah.
Put the caulk on, take a piece of plastic or wood and spread it out, smooth it out, and then stick your rocks on. So you're only doing a maybe 2-inch by 2-inch area at a time.
And leave the caulk about 1/8 of an inch thick approximately, so you have something to squish the rock into so it's got some holding power. And when you get done, I think this piece is, I don't remember, it looks like it's one piece, might be two, and then you just make a drawing and lay it out, cut it out, and glue it on. These uprights just go up like it is and put some angles on for strength to hold the roof. Stain it all gray before you put it together so that it doesn't get onto the rock and so on. But these scales, I had worked with them. This might have been the first time I used them. No, it was the second time. And they seem like they're difficult. And you cut the scales off of a pine cone a whole lot bigger than this. But these are pine cones that are about that long.
They're eastern white pine cones he used.
Yep. And you cut these scales off. You take pliers and a knife, and I like this utility knife, and you grab a hold of one of these scales, you bend it up off the cone and cut it off, and then you start putting them on. And you'd have to, if you want to, try it, you just get some different configuration. They all go on similar, but each scale's got a little bit different roundness. From the bottom of the pine cone on up, they get, I believe, I don't have the regular pine cone here now, and one side is smaller than the other, and I like the bigger ones, and they're a little flatter, and when you get up to the top they get to curl more, and so they get a little bit more difficult to use. So it takes numerous amounts of pine cones to get the scales that are easier to work with.
And you use clear multi-purpose or white glue. It dries clear because you end up getting visible glue on that you can see. So you didn't want to use a glue that was colored. And this is about 6.5 inches tall. The roof is about 5.5 that way, 5 inches that way, and the base is about 4.5 inches. Let's see, the rock on the bottom is about 2 inches, yeah, approximately. But
Yep.
it goes well with the gnome statues that he has. They're about 5 inches tall, so this to scale works out real well for that.
I brought up both sides to the ridge,
Your hand's in the way.
and then I put on probably part of 2 rows going across to finish off the ridge. They look like they're all together, but that's the way I did it and the way it ended up, and it worked out pretty well. But it's kind of trial and error.
And how did you make the bucket?
The bucket, I used little pieces of wood, and then I had a container. It just so
Small
happened,
plastic container.
a little, yeah, eye drop container.
Oh, yep.
And I put that inside. I had the bottom was on it, I believe, first. And then I glued all these together, and I just put it all together. I put a couple of rubber binders on it to let it dry. And either the bottom went on, the bottom might have gone on afterwards.
Yeah, I would think after.
Yeah. And put the little wire in, and you can,
Yeah, and that needs to be attached to the string or the rope inside there. But yeah, fun project. Turned out good.
yeah, it was fun to make.
Yeah, no, something that you'd never made before, and we're actually working on a life-size wishing well at a cabin in northwest Wisconsin that we're almost done with. I'll be sitting up and releasing a video on that one of these days when we get it done. But this was a small model, so, but thanks for watching, and be sure and check out my other videos. Please subscribe, like, share, leave a comment below. Have a great day.